So my name is James Kannathara. I'm an animation teacher at Amity University, Maharashtra. I've been an animation artist since before I even knew what like animation is. So yeah, I guess animation is love, animation is life, and I guess that's what.
Sir, you have worked as an animator, creative director, motion graphics artist, social media manager. So how do you come up with new ideas for every project you work in?
More than anything else, it's about observing what's around you. So I remember this one time I was just chilling with a friend of mine and I noticed her wallpaper had this very interesting pattern to it. So I just took a few pictures of it. I just got back home and I started animating it, and the next thing I know, it's going live on YouTube. So that's one example. Another example I had was I was sleeping and I had a dream, and the next day I just go ahead and just make it. So I feel like as an animation artist, more than like actually just as an artist, more than making, I think it's more about how much you're able to observe. So yeah, for me, I like to observe as much as possible.
How do you come up with strong visual metaphors for abstract concepts and what can create effect on people's perception through what they watch?
So this is one concept that I came across during my bachelor's. It's called schema. That is, people tend to have this certain kind of an idea of what something should be. So the moment you kind of play along with those techniques, like in the sense, people have this certain idea that, like, suppose if I'm working for Nike, they want it to have a lot of power in it, and more importantly, they want to have a lot of trust in that brand, right? So you kind of work with that, and you use colors that are more muted. You use colors that are very like complementary to each other to kind of give a sense of trust, which is what like Nike wants. On the other hand, like brands like Red Bull and all, they want you to be like just flabbergasted by what's happening in front of you. So they'll just throw the most vibrant things at you. So I feel like more than anything else, it's about understanding what your audience is expecting and give it right to them. But then that is when I'm working commercially, when I'm doing it for a project. But when I'm doing it for myself, I think more than anything else, I like to like challenge schemas. I like to kind of be like, okay, fine, this is what you think happens. Yeah, it doesn't happen like that. So I guess for me, my own personal process is that like I kind of take a moment to understand what is expected and like what my audience members like think like, and I play along with that. Yeah.
How do you define yourself creatively? Are you more of an artist, technician, storyteller, or something else?
Oh, I'm definitely an artist. Like, I don't think when I'm making films or like whatever, I actually generally don't care about the narrative. I don't really care about what I'm trying to express. All I care about is how much I can play with the technique I'm using. In the sense that, like, I remember this one time I was working on this one claymation, and so the topic I was given was gender. Okay, I was given the topic of gender, but then there was one point where I just got lost in the art of working with that clay, because let's be honest, working with clay is really fun. Like, the texture of it is beautiful. So at one point I just got lost in the art of it, and I just give it to like my professor. So it is for my master's course. I go and give it to my professor, and he's like, cool, but what does it mean? And I'm like, I have no answers. Like, all I could say was I had fun making it, and I feel like that's what I've been doing for the past 8 years. Just like, I've just been having fun with the medium, and like, I only like actually like the only way my art makes sense is if like I'm working with a director, if I'm working with a scriptwriter who are forcing me, James, please don't go off script. You focus on what you're supposed to do, and that's it. So like, yeah, I'm more of an artist more than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you need to go out of script. So if you want to tell a story, then you have to get out of the script.
That's the thing. So like, if you want it, so there are multiple ways of telling a story.
So how do you get back to it?
Get back to the script?
Yeah, script.
Yeah, I guess that is something that I had to learn through a lot of cancelled projects, a lot of like unpaid invoices. It's all about just understanding your own limits and knowing that you're not Amitabh Bachchan, at least you're not Amitabh Bachchan right away.
With such a wide range of work, how do you stay creatively energized and avoid burnout?
I think all of us have these questions that we keep asking ourselves, like why were we born? You know, this like more metaphorical questions that we ask: why were we born? What is the purpose of everything? Yea, that, what is God? You know, those like these abstract concepts that we abstract questions that we use to like kind of keep our minds engaged, have like engaging conversations with our friends. Yeah, the question that I ask myself, like have been asking myself since forever, is what is my purpose in life? And I think I've been kind of stuck with that for a very long time, and like I guess my current version of purpose in life is I want to serve as many people as possible, like kind of be a catalyst for other people to like, not other people, more like be a catalyst for people that I believe in to grow. So that is the reason that I like, I mean like thank you like for Jatin for saying that like I'm energetic, but like I guess I understand at least I'm trying to understand the reason why I'm doing things. And the moment you understand why you're doing it, you understand the importance of it. And when you understand the importance of it, you know, okay, fine, it needs to happen right now. And if it doesn't happen right now, then you're jeopardizing the life of an entire person. And you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You cannot, like, these are like individual people who have left their homes and they are coming here and they're kind of entrusting their education, their life to you, and they're like, okay, fine, you know what, you know better than me, I'll just sit here and be a student. No, that's a lot of responsibility, and I need to stand up to that.
As there is no sound in many of the animation, cartoon, or films, how do you layer emotional cues through motion, color, and pacing when there's no dialogue?
Right. Okay, so there are a lot of techniques for this. Okay, like for example, have you heard about this one concept called the magic sack? Essentially, this is technique that people used to use back in the day, but like nowadays they don't. Basically, characters just put their hand behind their back and then take out a machine gun, and they just put their hand behind their back and take out like the biggest like hammer of all time.
Yeah.
So these are like these gags that animation artists utilize, because at the end of the day, this is nothing. This is just like shapes moving on a screen. Because when you're working with filmmaking, those are real people, those are real props, right? And you need to, if you want to, like, suppose if you want to break glass on a person's head, you can't use real glass. You have to use use a prop that looks like a glass but doesn't hurt like a glass. On the other hand, an animation, it's a drawing. It's a drawing. You can do what the hell you want with it. The moment you understand that you can do whatever the hell you want with animation, that is when, like, when you truly understand that is when you realize, oh shit, I can, oh my bad, oh wow, I can do whatever I want with this situation. So like for example, if I were to like break a glass on someone's head, maybe the moment it breaks, the soul of the soul of the bottle like flies away. Another thing I can do is that like the moment it breaks, the person just the glass or is about to hit, and then the glass looks back into the person who's hitting, like, are you sure you really want to do that? You see, like the sheer the sheer magnanimity of like what you can do with this art is so immense that like doing something that can be done in film, in animation, is just a waste of the potential of the art. Like, I hope that makes sense.
How much influence does sound design or music have on your animation and editing process?
Wow, so much, so very much. Like, I feel like I spend quite a lot of time actually, even before animating, the very first thing I do is like prepare my sound design, because first things first, like, it kind of defines what my pacing is. So if I already know how long my animation, if you know how long your animation is supposed to be, then you know how much effort needs to go there, because 1 second is 24 drawings, right? So very first thing I do is do my sound design, and then using it as my base, I go ahead with like this thing. So like, if you ask me how important it is, I'm outright telling you that like sound design is the foundation of animation.
What's something you've learned from your students or workshop attendees?
So the thing is, when I like when I joined my first, like when I started taking, so my first class was taken this one place in CMedu in Bangalore, and there I was teaching paper cut animation. And here's the thing, when you're trying to explore an art form on your own, you ask your own questions and you try to figure out wherever you lack. So like for me, one thing that I used to like struggle a lot with was like sticking these papers together. And then I found out something called blue tack, and I was able to make animations. This is more technical terms, I guess. But the moment I was put in a situation where there are 50 students that I have to teach like something called paper cut animation. The thing is, they ask you questions that you not even thought about, because the sheer fact is this, that like when multiple minds are working, loads more questions, loads more like situations, and loads more like solutions come about. So here I am just trying to answer the questions of 50 people that I have never even pondered about, because I didn't think of it. Just quite frankly, I never thought about it. So what a situation like that does, like this can be paper cut, it can be 3D animation, it can be 2D animation, or like anything that I've taught yet. What these students tend to do is that they tend to ask questions to you that you never asked yourself in the past 15 years you've been doing this. So what that kind of enables you to do is push yourself to answer the questions that they need to know. So like a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months into it, you're a lot better artist yourself, because you've been answering the questions of like people, you've been answering questions that you yourself never thought. So I feel like I grew as an artist a lot more as a teacher than I did as an artist myself, like just an artist.
As you have worked in fields like gaming, music, technology, travel, fashion, social media, documentaries, and even sports in an IPL 2023 also, and if time and budget were no issue, what's a dream animation project you'd love to create?
My God, my dream project right now, more than anything else, I want to work with, so my dream project is that I want my animation to be playing behind a concert. So like a concert is going on, an artist is playing, and I want my animation right behind there. Because the thing is, till now, all of my work has been solo, like, right, so like, there's some, I worked on this one cartoon called, for Aflatun. There's one studio called Aflatun. I worked on this one cartoon for them, and like, that was fine, I guess. I worked on IPL, even that was fine, I guess. The thing about a concert is that you have to complement the energy, the vibe of this god, this absolute god of a person who's like playing music, who's practiced their entire life to be there on stage, and he's rocking it out, and you as an animation artist has to do justice to that. So yeah, I guess my dream project would be like a huge artist is like performing and my animation is complementing it. So like yeah, I guess that's my dream project.